Hey everyone, so today I thought I'd just talk about something which is quite important to me and something I've wanted to do a video on for a while, which is personal style and basically how you go about creating your own personal style. And the reason why I want to do this video is because I've had a few questions asking me how I went about getting my own style and how I get inspired and things like that. I thought I'd just kind of sum up in a video a lot of things I've learned over the years in 10 main points. So please stick with me because this might be a quite long video, but I have a lot of things to get through. So I'll start first and foremost with point 1, which is the difference between being stylish and being fashionable. And there's a huge difference between having fashion sense and having a style. And basically what that is fashion tends to be about trends, what's right now, what's happening, and just following that, whereas style is something completely different. Style is basically, it doesn't matter what's in vogue at the moment, it's something that you personally have. Your own style is, you know, something that belongs to you, whereas if you follow fashion, it tends to be more of a, it's less voluntary. You kind of just follow along with the trends and there's not much room for creativity in there. So while I do encourage people paying attention to fashion trends, I think that it's important to have style over fashion sense, because in the end you want to have a style that reflects your personality, what you're into, rather than just listening to what magazines are telling you should be into, which is not a great way to create what you look like. Okay, so how do you get your style? How do you get a style over following fashion trends? And the way that you do that is through research. And what you need is inspiration, and there's 4 main ways I gain inspiration. The first way that I gain inspiration is from other people, and it's usually people in the media or people from different eras, things like that. So some people that I tend to look at for inspiration for my style include like Dita Monteith for when I want to be more pin-up, and then I look to David Bowie, say, I look to Audrey Kitching and Jeffree Star and all those, the scene queens, for when I'm looking for makeup ideas and hair ideas. I'm also really inspired by drag queens. I'm really inspired by Marie Antoinette. So many different people. If you find people that are inspiring to you, if you see something that they're wearing that you like, then you can always put little bits of that into your own style. Another thing to do is to look at history, so look at different eras. There's so many different eras which you can gain inspiration from. I would say the main ones I get inspiration from are the 40s and 50s, from when I'm really into pin-up styles, and then I turn to look towards the 70s and 80s for inspiration as well. And you can find so many great books out there on these eras, and it can really help you to get some ideas for fashion. If you're not really looking at what's in right now, you can look to previous eras and what they used to do and get some really good ideas. And another way you can get inspiration is through looking at fashion designers, because each fashion designer tends to have their own signature style, and if you identify with that, then you can gain inspiration from that. So you might be into more of like a classic style like Chanel, or you might be into more cutting edge fashion. Say you might be into Alexander McQueen, you might be into Vivienne Westwood, Christopher Kane. If you kind of research designers and their past collections, it's a great way to get inspiration. You don't necessarily need to buy what they have, which obviously is expensive, but you might get some inspiration from collections they've done. The last way that I gain inspiration is through basically just research in terms of books and magazines and movies. There's a lot of movies that have inspired me. I'll probably make a list of them because I won't be able to remember off the top of my head. But some of them include like Party Monster, if you've ever seen that, Pink Flamingos, a lot of the kind of 80s club kid movies with really outrageous hair and makeup, which I love. And I'm always buying books that inspire me and help me to develop my style. So I've got a few of them here. A great way to start is through looking at fashion magazines. The best way is to go to high-end or alternative magazines. This is one of my favourite magazines. It's called Paper Planes, and basically it's just full of really inspiring images. There's a lot of photo shoots here with great hair and makeup, great clothes, and one might not necessarily buy what they're advertising. I can kind of get some inspiration for creating my own style. The Nylon Pretty book, which is their beauty book, and it basically goes through all the eras and some of the most inspiring people of those eras. So again, if you're looking at people for inspiration, this is a great book. Like, it's got Bowie in it, it's got Madonna, and it shows what kind of like makeup you can use to create their image. So that's a really great book. I recommend that. And if you're starting off kind of creating your style and you just are really lost, this book I love. It's called I Love Your Style, and it goes through some really kind of signature styles that have been done, like eclectic, street, high fashion, bohemian, and it shows you, gives you ideas on where you can start to create that look, who to look to, and yeah, it's a great book. Love that one as well. Okay, so you might have got some ideas from people that inspire you. The number one thing to remember is not to emulate their style. So don't copy what they do to, you know, every degree. What you want to do is take little bits from all different types of people that inspire you, different movies, books, whatever, and then put that into your own style, because there's nothing worse than being a copycat and just ripping off someone's style. What you want to do is take little bits of everything and put it into your own style. So you might have some inspiration on how to start off your style. The first thing to do is to buy basics, and for your basics I really recommend looking at what colours you like, what kind of prints you like, and buying your basics in those colours. So whatever suits you and what you think will work the most, and then build the rest of your style around it. So for me, I always buy patent shoes and patent bags, always. So at the moment I've got this is my day bag, which is just a plain black patent bag. I've got black patent shoes on. Fail proof for me. I always wear black patent basics for my accessories. And as far as colours, I tend to wear baby pink, cherry red, florals and leopard print, and they are probably my main basics. Well, while they're not basics for everyone, they're basics for me, and they're something that I get a lot of wear out of, so I make sure for my big ticket items I buy them in their prints and colours that I know I'll wear a lot of. So make sure you buy your basics in things that you'll wear a lot of and colours that you identify with. Okay, so my fourth point, which is something that I've been through before, is not to limit yourself on your style. While you might identify with some different styles, don't think that you have to put yourself into one category and be one person. And that's something that I used to be. I used to think that I had to be one style and nothing else. For example, when I was younger, I went through a huge gothic phase and I only allowed myself to wear black. Although I'd see the odd thing in another colour which I'd want to wear, I wouldn't allow myself to wear it because I thought it didn't fit in with my style. And then I went on to more pin-up girl style, and I pretty much only wore Wills and Doll Baby for a long time. And while I love the brand, I think that it's good to experiment with lots of different brands, and now I'm just chop and change all the time depending on my mood. So don't put yourself into a box like other people do. Allow yourself to experiment with all different types of clothing and ideas, and also allow yourself to evolve. Don't be scared if you're interested in something that's not your usual style about just trying it out. What's the worst that can happen, really? Like, I always used to wear black. Now you pretty much won't catch me wearing black. I always wear colour. So yeah, sometimes just feel free to step outside the box that you've put yourself in and do something different. My point number 5 is shop everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Don't think that you have to buy one certain price market for clothes or for makeup or for whatever. You don't have to shop at one place. I shop everywhere. For example, today I'm wearing a Megadeth mini dress which I sewed myself which I got from some punk store. I've got red vinyl leggings on from a local Australian designer. I have some wedges on, which I got from the op shop, and I also have, to match all off, my gold Marc Jacobs handbag. So, you know, you've got designer in there, you've got local designer, you've got something that I've created, and you've got op shop. So that's 4 different things. I shop everywhere, and it's not just with my clothes. I'm not afraid to try out new makeup brands. Don't limit yourself to wearing one brand of makeup. Like a lot of people just wear MAC or Napoleon or whatever. Don't think that one brand's gonna do it all for you. Just feel free to try something new, and you'll be surprised. You can really evolve your style if you allow yourself to buy clothes from vintage stores, from high-end brands, from even Target. You know, just don't limit yourself to one brand or one style. Another book that I thought I'd pull out, which I look to for great basics, is this book called The 100, and it's by Nina Garcia, and she's made a lot of really great inspirational fashion books, and it's basically a guide to the pieces every stylish woman must own. So when you're building up your basic wardrobe, this is a great book to have because it basically guides you through items that are always going to be timeless and never go out of style, but you can kind of change them around to match your own style. So I recommend all the books from Nina Garcia for inspiration. Okay, point number 6. Always pull your look together with really great hair and makeup. So I think when you do your hair and makeup and it looks great, you're more likely to pull off something a little bit more crazy. I hate when I see someone that has a really great outfit on and they've got their hair really messy and no makeup on. I think it just kind of ruins the look. So even if you know you're not into crazy heavy makeup like me, just try to make, you know, your makeup neat, match in with the style of your clothing, and do your hair to match. You want the whole thing to be fluid. You don't want to have a great outfit on and then have unruly hair and makeup. Another thing I thought I'd bring out, which I like to keep because hair and makeup is huge to me, is I have a folder where I put in makeup face charts, I put in how-tos, and I also have a section on inspiration, makeup artists that inspire me and their work. So the main makeup artist that inspires me is Pat McGrath, and she does a lot of the really high fashion catwalk makeup, and I basically keep all this makeup in here for inspiration, which I print off and keep in here. And then when I'm going to put my outfit together for the night, I'll have a look in here and I might get a little bit of inspiration from something that she's done, and it'll pull my look together. So yeah, even if it's just wearing a red lipstick. Okay, point 7, which is kind of what was point 6, is write down all your ideas and keep them in folders, keep them in notebooks. So you might see someone walking down the street with a great coat on or a really cool hairstyle that inspires you. Write it down on a piece of paper and refer to it later, because you might want to add that into your style. So I'm constantly keeping notebooks in my bag. I also have heaps of different little books which I put magazine clippings in from celebrities and different clothing styles, magazine clippings, and I keep them in different books. And you've probably seen my apartment before. I cover my walls with inspiration, and sometimes if I'm stuck I just need to look at my walls and there's something there which inspires me. So surround yourself by inspiration and write ideas down. Point number 8. While I encourage, of course, trying lots of different styles, it's really great if you have one signature thing about your look. So for me, it's my red hair, which basically has been my signature for around 3 years and will continue to be something that I will do. You might have a bag that, you know, people identify you with, or you might have a hairstyle, or you might always wear a particular lipstick or whatever. Sometimes it's nice if you keep one thing constant. Your signature thing feels kind of special to you if you have one thing that never changes. So for me, I really like, no matter what I tend to do, you know, like today I've added some pink extensions into my hair, but my hair will remain red because it's kind of my little thing which I like to keep constant. Point number 9 is attitude and confidence. So no matter what I've kind of told you so far, it doesn't really matter if you don't have the kind of confidence to pull it off. And it's something that you can't really learn straight away. When I was younger, there was a lot of things that I kind of wanted to try out, and I was too worried about what people would think from wearing it, what people would think of me. But I've reached the point in my life, I'm 22 years old, and I just don't care anymore. I wear blue glittery lipstick down to the shops, I wear black lipstick out in the day, I wear whatever I want, I don't care, and it is the most liberating thing that you can do. But you should also know that if you're wanting to do something different with your style, people will notice and people will say things, people will point at you, people will stare at you on the street, but it's such a great feeling to know that what you're doing is 100% you. Before I felt like I was myself, but now I feel like I can just completely be myself. I can do what I want with no kind of worry. So when I started wearing black lipstick back in the first black lipstick video I did for YouTube, I was very nervous about wearing it, and I only wore it at night, and now I just wear it whenever I want. And one thing to realise is the reason why people point and stare and make a big deal out of it can be for a number of reasons. One reason is they're jealous of you having the confidence to do something that they might want to do, but they're too scared to do it themselves, so they just kind of give you a hard time about it. And also, a lot of people are just ignorant and they don't understand. So you can't really be angry at those people, because a lot of people just don't understand why I have red hair, why I sometimes wear makeup like a drag queen, or why I wear certain things. But the people that kind of make your life hard for doing something different, you just need to not worry about what they think, because if you let those people control your life, then you'll never be able to truly be yourself. The amount of comments I get on my channel from people that are like, oh, I would love to do makeup like that, but I'm too worried about what people think, or I would love to wear that outfit, but I just don't think it would be appropriate for me to wear something like that. The only person who's holding you back from doing anything is yourself. So just overcome those hurdles. A really great book that I recommend for that is Workin' It by RuPaul, who is another really great inspiration to me. He's probably the most famous drag queen in the world, and this book is basically full of his kind of what he learned in his life and how he became who he was, how he learnt to accept that he was different and how to deal with other people having a problem with it. And it's a very inspirational book, and I really recommend you read it if you have problems overcoming wanting to do something different but being too nervous. This is a really inspirational book. Okay, so my very last point number 10, is be prepared to make mistakes. You know, we've all had mistakes with our fashion, makeup, whatever in the past. I know I have. I went through a stage of wearing very heavy black eye makeup with fake eyelashes in the day, and I didn't know how to blend my eye makeup at all, and it looked terrible. But, you know, you live and you learn, and the way that you can kind of grow into your style is through being prepared to make a risk and dealing with the consequences. And, you know, if people don't like it, what you're doing, whatever, and don't ever look back and regret something that you've worn or something that you've had the guts to do because someone said something about it. Because at least you went out there and you did it and you weren't afraid to do it. The worst thing that you can do is almost wear something and then back out at the last minute because you're afraid of what people will think. That's pretty much the video. I hope that you get something out of it. I guess the main thing is don't be afraid to do your own thing, whatever that is, because, you know, while a lot of people will judge you, a lot of people will appreciate it and they'll come up to you and they'll say so, and it's a great feeling. So that's all I have to really say today, and I'll speak to you guys soon.